Welcome back to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We're brought to you by Pelican, built tough for all situations. Go to pelican.com. Yak Gadget, for all your fine kayak fishing accessory needs. Go to yakgadget.com. Eastport Marina, on the beautiful shores of Dale Hollow Lake. For all your lodging, kayaking, and fishing needs, go to eastport.info. Now let's get this show started. What's going on? Facebook Live, YouTube, Jay Randall.
What up?
What keeps going off? Is that your phone?
Yeah, it was getting a text. Sorry, I'm a busy guy, you know. So popular these days.
Yeah, I'm sure you're a busy guy.
I am. Stop it. Dude, I have paint on my hands. Look, I've been painting all day.
Ugh. What have you been painting?
The store.
Ooh, store. How's
Yeah.
Tennessee, man?
It's cool, man. I really haven't gotten the outdoor side enjoyed yet, but at least the scenery is nice. I'm hoping this weekend to get some fishing in or something.
There you go. Well, boys and girls, we got some of the rest of the crew in here doing a little after hours edition, talking about some hot topics, some things going on. So we got none other than Jimmy Skinner and Perry, and the one, the only, Susie Roloff.
What's
going on?
What's going on, boys and girls?
Hey,
what up?
How we doing?
living the dream, drinking some muchachos.
Oh shit! Just got real up in here.
That's what it is.
Dan's getting. What is that even?
It's like Good People's local brewery. It's their version of like a Mexican beer.
Nice. Kind of like similar to a Corona or what?
Yeah, something around there.
Tecate.
Yeah, Tecate, Pacifico, something like that.
Right on.
Yeah.
I like Souls. Souls are good. Pacifico
I like
is even
Tecate.
better.
Yeah, Pacifico's my favorite. I'd really like to like Modelo because of like the foil wrapper. You feel like, drinking something out of a gold bottle, but I don't know.
Just because of that. Just because of
The
that.
gold foil.
Yeah.
He's like, I feel more respectable when I drink.
Yeah. If there's like a Mexican champagne of beers, it's definitely the Modelo.
Nice. I like it, man. I like it. Anybody got anything they want to kick off with?
Susie and alligators.
I haven't watched the video, but I did see Jimmy's comment, like that sinister laugh, and like you got like super giddy, and I could just picture it because Susie gets that real sinister laugh when she's excited about something.
Dude,
I was dying at this customer's house today when I was. I had to watch it again just because I saw somebody talking about the comment, and it's because it's literally like she just found her evil sidekick. It is hilarious.
I'm gonna see if I can get this to pull up here.
Yeah, she straight up lost her shit.
Over an alligator, huh? Like, what was it, Susie? You just never seen an alligator?
I had a goal that, like, when I was down in Texas, I was just like, all right, I want to see an alligator. I don't care how big or small, and I want to catch a Texas bass. And I did both. And so, like, I wasn't even, like, expecting to see the alligator because, like, they kept on telling me, well, we're not really in the right part of the lake to see one or whatever.
They're everywhere in Lake Fork. That's bullshit. Like, they're literally
I've never
everywhere.
been, so, like, I didn't know what to expect. And so, we go back in this, like, back little creek arm and whatnot, and I'm casting around or whatever. I'm talking to Katie Baca, and all of a sudden I was just like, oh my God, there's an alligator! And I just like lose my shit. I was so excited.
There's no other way to put it. Completely lost your shit.
I think I got it here. Hold on. Boom.
I I can pull it up too. That's what she said.
Or film it, or photos.
Jesus. Wait, is there any chance you were drinking out there?
No.
Look at that. Look at that unsecured phone.
It is totally secure.
Yeah, there's a tether
You
underneath
can't
her
see the
thumb. You can see
tether,
it
but
now.
Yeah, it's tethered on there, dude. I learned my lesson the first time I lost my phone in the water.
I don't tether mine anymore. I don't care.
It's hilarious.
I need a new
That's
phone.
hilarious. Well, that's one of the things I had on my list of things to talk about, because I knew you were jumping on, Susie. Like, for those that don't know why you were in Texas, let's talk about that, because that's a pretty cool thing. I know it's something you've been doing for a couple of years now. And it doesn't get the attention it deserves, I feel, sometimes.
Very true. So I was down at Lake Fork, Texas for the Women's Fishing Federation. It used to be called the Worldwide Women's Fishing Federation. It used to be kind of like a different acronym, but then they changed it just within the last 2 years to WFF.
Tax evasion.
And what?
That's a tax evasion name change.
No. it's totally nonprofit, but basically what it is it was founded and created by Christine Fisher, Mel Isaacs, and Amanda Brandon, and their idea was to get together and bring women together to help them learn knowledge, skills, everything in between when it comes to like not just kayak fishing, but like fishing in general, giving them the encouragement, giving them the foundation, and, just giving them the drive and the encouragement to get out there, because, in this day and age right now, fishing is like pretty highly male-based sport. And so like when a woman wants to kind of go out and fish and it's just nothing but guys, they're going to be really intimidated to get out there. And so what this does is this creates kind of that open space where any woman of any background, any knowledge base, whether you've never touched, a fishing rod or a fishing lure or whatever, or you might be, really experienced. It doesn't matter the skill set, the age, location, where you're from. Anybody can come and join, and we put on different classes and seminars. We had Jeff Little there, who
I saw that one.
An awesome demonstration on, tipping a kayak, finding that point of no return, how to get back onto your kayak, how to flip it back over, and a bunch of other awesome skills, that you could potentially need while you're out on the water. So it was just awesome to, have all these different ladies. We had about 55 ladies from 20 different states, like all over the country. We had ladies from Maine, California, Florida, Wisconsin, Michigan, like all over the place come to this event. So it's not just exclusive to one area. And we kind of changed locations each year just to kind of, pertain to like, okay, we want to be closer to these anglers this year and then this part of the country this year type of thing. Because the very first year we were down in Forsyth, Missouri, which is very close to Branson. And that was our first event. Our second event got canceled because of COVID. But our actual second event was actually up in La Crosse last year in Wisconsin. And then, of course, this year was down at Lake Fork, Texas, which was pretty awesome. I mean, the fishing down there, it may not have been the best, but like we had like tons of resources. We had tons of sponsors. We had tons of volunteers coming out to help to, get these women set up with everything. Like I took both of my kayaks. I had a loaner kayak that a couple different ladies used throughout the weekend. I probably handed out, 20 packs of like different types of plastics or whatever, because like people came there like, well, I don't know what to use, or I didn't know what to bring, or some ladies flew in and they were really limited on what they can use. So like I literally like took like my whole tackle shop with me just so that I could make sure that everybody was going to be set up with what they needed. And so like I had like all of my stuff like on my bed. I was like, step into my office. Let's go shopping and, see what I can get you set up with.
Nice.
And so it was just awesome to, get these ladies set up and excited to, get out there, get on the water, get them comfortable, get them confident, because that's like one of the biggest things is getting them, to get out there and, know that, yeah, it may be a heavily male sport, but they can still get out there and kick all these guys' asses, like no problem.
Sure.
So, but
No,
yeah,
it's super cool, man. Like, I like how you guys do the seminars and stuff. Like, one lady local to the shop here, I turned her on to that event because I knew you were a part of it. And I know it was a Missouri one she went to, right? For the first one?
yeah, that was the first one. Yep.
And now she's been going to every single one. Shout out to Heidi Britton. Yeah, she's, and I know after the first time she went, she came back and she was like, thank you so much for telling me about this. It was like just a great time. I felt super comfortable. And she's like, I've fished with her before and tried to show her a few things, and she's like very shy and like, feels intimidated, like you're talking about, like going out on the water with me, but going with you or some of the other ladies, man, it made her feel so much more comfortable. And I know she took a lot away from that, which is awesome. Yep. For sure.
Yeah. And it's also awesome to see like where a lot of these ladies have like gone since the very first event, like I'm trying to remember if I had like my Outdoor Woman brand to myself. I can't really remember for sure when I officially started that, but people from Tracy Seabuild Joseph's, she's old lady angler now. You got Kate Field with Kate Fishing, Alicia Joy Outdoors, and there's even people like who aren't big in like the kayak fishing scene. So I had Emily Aldridge up from Wisconsin, who's now Real M Fishing. Like she's got her own brand now, and she just bait fishes. So it's just like seeing these ladies grow into this sport and grow the sport and like, kind of do their own thing is really awesome to see because, one of the seminars that we had down there was like how to brand yourself, how to like sell yourself and like obtain sponsors. And one of the biggest things that we were trying to like nail in the head with these ladies is just like, just be yourself, because 9 times out of 10, a group or a company is going to be super excited that a lady is getting into the sport. So like, yeah, but there's also the point of, knowing when to like say no to certain companies too, because like, some companies, unfortunately in this day and age, it's all about sex sales. So, you got to think about, are you going to be represented well? Are you going to be able to represent the company? What kind of, contractual limitations are you going to have with them? Like, are they going to make you post, on your Facebook, like so many times a month or have so many like tags in your post? There's all these different stipulations that, being part of either pro staff or pro, whatever you want to call it, come with it. So it's also learning to be smart, when you're choosing and reaching out to some of these different companies. Because, anybody can get like a 10% discount just about anywhere. But it's also knowing how to like properly like sell yourself, start conversations with some of these different organizations, and not to just limit it to like fishing stuff, reach out there, and go for like other stuff. Like if you're wearing a certain brand of sunglasses, or if like you wear a certain type of shoes, don't limit yourself just to like the fishing brands, reach out there to like some of the other different audiences as well.
Can we come too? Because like, I think we may need some of that help.
I mean, like we did have, so we had Guillermo Gonzalez out there helping us with some of the classes. Again, Jeff Little. We had, I know there was a couple other guys out there helping us, but there was 2 spouses that did come with their wives. They may not have necessarily like attended much because they definitely felt awkward being like, some of the only guys, in this group of women, I mean, we're certainly not going to turn anyone down just because like they're a spouse or whatever. So, I mean, if you know a lady or you have a lady and you want to take her with you and be like, hey, go to this event and I'll go with you, you could totally do that as well.
Have you guys decided where you're going next year yet?
So I know they're talking and thinking about maybe kind of somewhere out east, southeast. We don't know for sure. One of the biggest challenges is when we get kind of that big of a group, even though like 50 some people doesn't seem like it's a big group. But when you're trying to plan and coordinate everything and you're trying to have like classes like out on the water and whatnot. So you got to think about a lot of different logistics, like a lot of people have their boats on trailers. They got to get everything set up and, you're limited on the ramp space and launch space. So the timing and consideration into all that, before everybody's even out on the water, you've just spent 2 hours trailering, getting people set up and all that. So, we're trying to find a lake where everybody can just keep their gear either like on a beach or like the side of lake or something like that and not worry about, theft or anything like that. But which, mind you, it was pretty crazy doing this down in Texas, but like we left, like, I probably shouldn't say this out loud too, but like we left everything like in our trucks and stuff like that. But I mean, like, there was always people walking around. It was patrolled pretty well. So like we never felt like our stuff was going to get stolen or anything. But yeah, it would be easier to have all the ladies kind of like in one spot, staying in like the same general area, which a majority of them did. But I know some other ladies, stayed at like Airbnbs not too far away. So it's been a little challenging finding something to accommodate us as like a big group, especially out on the water type of thing. But yeah, they're thinking maybe somewhere out east, southeast area.
I got something for you, all right? I'm just saying. I'm gonna share this on the screen. You guys ready for this? I'm just saying. Jay could pass. I'm just saying.
That's gold.
I don't even know how I feel about this.
I don't know how I feel about it.
That's old. That's when that Face app came out, and I remember I was messing with it. I got a funny one of Jason Ricketts too. I should probably pull that one up too. I mean,
anything with that mug is funny looking.
But no, it's super cool, man. How many how many ladies did you guys have last year compared to this year?
Last year, I think we only had like maybe 20 some odd. It was a weird year last year just because like, there were still weird things going on with COVID and like trying to find like a good hosting spot and a good area and whatnot. So, but yeah, we've definitely increased. Our very first year we had, I think, like 48 or something like that. But then yeah, this year has been our biggest year.
We happen to have a relationship with beautiful Eastport Lodge on the shores of Dale Hollow Lake.
I know.
Everybody could stay there.
I would hit up Richard for sure. That was one thing that crossed my mind. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Use the farm up there as your like seminar place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then just
get everybody in houseboats and you can just leave all your shit in the water like we did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The fishing probably ain't gonna be any good, but
yeah, you'd have to go somewhere.
That's funny. Real cool, man. Well, congrats to you ladies who threw on that event, man. That was super cool, man. I dig that. I love seeing that coming into the sport, man. Especially nowadays, so many new people coming into it, which is awesome. Awesome to see. But next topic I had on the docket was there's three of us in here that are going Newport Vessels Do you think that's going to replace the Torqeedo?
Mm-mm.
For the money,
No.
yes. Yeah, for the money.
I-
A lot of
I
people
think
can't
that
afford $2,300.
I think that it forces a redo of your sales plan. I don't think it shoves them out. Jeff's too big a name, and they're still the only person with a 3 horsepower. Like, we just signed up with them at the shop because sure, Newport exists, but the 1103 is the fucking LS motor of the kayak world. And he's the only guy making one. So
Right now.
well, exactly. Like, but I think now that because I mean, who's his competition really been before now? Exactly nothing. You know, 'cause I don't put Motor Guide in that same market. No, no. But I think maybe it forces them to change. Like,
do you foresee Torqeedo like moving over to that kind of you pick your own battery platform?
That's hard to say. I would say like maybe they do both.
Okay.
Like, because their battery packs are like kind of already a thing, already established. Like, and I don't know all the like technical crap, but the one thing theirs does that Newport doesn't is with its GPS setup, it can actually like tell you like the range and percentages you have left very accurately, and Newport won't do that.
Sure.
So I mean, that's another one of his little like ace in the hole. Like, mine does this, yours does that.
Sure.
But at the same time, I've always wondered why they didn't have it both ways. Like, I don't care about the GPS part of it, is because if I don't have that, then I just put a 100 amp hour battery in front of it and don't worry about it. You know,
Right.
Just run 2 or 3 days with it. But
no, it just I bring it up because I just see more and more Newport vessels being put on kayaks and stuff like that. And
cheap.
Well, and that's just it, right? It's more affordable for the average Joe.
Broke folks.
I mean, I know Jay has a Torqeedo, but he got a killer deal from a buddy of his that was kind of getting on a kayak fishing, you know.
It's the only way I would have bought one. I mean, honestly, it's either that or I would have got a Newport, because for everybody, it's going to be money. And I mean, when you really look at the reality of spending over 2 G's on, like, even though it's a wonderful motor, but I mean, let's face it, it's this little piece of, metal and plastic goes on the back of your kayak. It's hard to justify that amount, when there's so many other things that you can buy for that, and you're like, it was, but yeah, as Brian said, I got lucky.
Well, I mean, playing devil's advocate, right? Like, at the end of the day, if you buy the Newport, you still have to buy the battery, and if you want something that's as capable as the Torqeedo battery, or like 100 amp hour, like Jimmy said, you're about in the same ballpark now.
That's true.
Like 800, for a good one.
Yeah, I mean, you're at 2,000 to 2,100, so you're talking about $100.
Yeah,
but I mean, I get your devil's advocate thing, but if you're doing it that way, it is the same ballpark, but it's not, because you've just like doubled the range.
That's true too.
Like,
that's true too.
Because like you can get an amped outdoors 24 volt 50 for, I actually think it is like $800, and that 50, I can't remember all of it. I know it gets you further than the small Torqeedo pack that comes with the
I think it's like the
403A,
and it's
the smaller whatever
like
that
1900 or something, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm gonna pull it up.
I can't remember, but I mean, I think that you're seeing more of them because of the price, and I don't think that goes away anytime soon. But it's just like any other brand. Like, it's all great when you don't have competition, and then you have competition, and then you got to change some stuff. So,
and I was selling Torqeedo back in 2007. I mean, they've been doing the same thing for a long time, and they've always been super high priced. It's
because it's jamming.
So the 403A is $19.99, and when I put in Torqeedo kayak motor, Here, let me share screen so that way anybody watching can kind of follow along with this stuff. So I just Google searched Torpedo kayak motor, NK180, $999. The 1103, there's two options, and that's the battery option. So it's between $2,900 and $2,600. But when I scroll down to the 403A, it's $19.99.
So does the battery automatically come with the Torpedo?
One of them does.
One of them.
Yeah,
Yes.
the
Okay.
smaller one, right?
Wait,
Yeah,
was
I
it
think
more
with the
like
403, it's the smaller, and the 1103 you can pick.
Yeah, isn't it like
How
a
much
360
more?
something?
So here, let me. I'm
I
going
forget.
straight to
It's funny, I got
Torpedo's
it.
website.
I don't remember.
I was about to say, like, you haven't.
I know. I even have it written on. I have it written on the batteries. I got both of them, so I know which one's which. That just tells you how much I pay attention.
It's just a spur of the moment. He just looks at one, and the bigger number is the one he goes with.
Yeah.
So the
it makes
403
kayak go.
The 403A is the smaller battery. That's 2,000. The 403AC is the one that'll give you a little more distance. That's 25, and then the 1103 is 29. And I think there is an option for a smaller battery on that.
I think
See,
it
like,
would be,
I don't. Go
I was
ahead.
going to say, I think it'd be in Torpedo's best interest. I mean, I know they want to do proprietary because, I mean, obviously that makes everybody buy the batteries. But I think you need to recognize that somebody may already have a battery and wants to upgrade, and they've got to open up that door and let there be an adapter of some kind where they can run their own battery. I mean, you got to give folks that option because not
One,
everybody invests so much money in these batteries, and then and you want to make a change to another motor, and Torpedoes are good. I mean, I'm not saying they're not. I mean, we all know they're good, but I think the one thing that would deter you is, well, the price, sticker shock, but the batteries are proprietary, so you really can only use it for your Torpedo.
so, but
You know?
like Dan said, that they've been around for so long, kind of the same way. I mean, he came out with new product, but the system's the same. I mean, you got to think that the explosion of the lithium marine batteries is very recent. So when this was all getting designed and developed, it probably wasn't a thought,
Yeah,
And
But, I
now
mean-
it's like you can Amazon a Chinese lithium battery. Like,
Yeah, I just Google search 24-volt lithium battery, and I mean, there's one here, expert power, 24-volt, 50 amp, like 689.
guaranteed to
Dakota,
catch on fire.
yeah, Dakota Lithium's was 989 for their 24-volt, 50 amp. This is Ampere Time, 100 amp hour for 819. Like there's so many, and that's the thing too. Like I saw a post recently. I think it might have been on what the heck was it? On Kayak Bass Nation, and it was a lithium battery, but like it melted or something like that. And it, like they pulled the cover off, and it was like this little like cheap lead acid battery inside the actual lithium battery box or
Foamed
something.
it, fake cased it.
Yeah.
Freaking
Yeah. So
that's just
that's the thing too.
straight
You gotta
trash.
be careful on what you're getting. You know what I mean? So interesting stuff.
true.
Well,
Jimmy,
batteries is
you're
one of
right
those-
though, Jimmy. You won't hear me say that out loud.
I'm gonna clip that, and every time I'm having a bad day, I'm just gonna replay that. You're right, Jimmy. Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, just this one, and I said it public, so I mean it. No, I mean you're right though. I think because Newport is still kind of new. Torpedo really hasn't had any, what's it called, competition, to this point. Except what was that other one, the Basquiat, or what's that other kayak motor that was out before, or still is? It's like, no, not the Bixby. It's something else. It basically looks like a trolling motor, but it's like a smaller setup. It's more, it's geared towards kayaking, whatever. Either way, but the Newport is basically, I mean, let's face it, it looks just like the Torpedo, but
Oh yeah, it's exactly the same for sure.
It's the amazing world of patents. 10% change.
Yeah, gotta love it. Gotta love it.
I mean, I greatly appreciate it. Thank
Patent
you to whoever
expiration,
had the
I think.
balls to do it.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Dan?
I think it's patent expiration. Like they had it out. They had that patent for so long it finally expired, and then Newport was able to
Well, you
make
can
it.
have it and you can hold the design, or you can have it and all the person has to. Because I know, like, talking with people, even like John with Yak Gadget, all you gotta do is change it 10%, and you put your own patent on it. So his 10% could be it being self-sustained or self-provided batteries. That's 10% difference.
I think you're going to see too, like the longevity of those motors, right? 'Cause,
That's
I mean, they
something
really
I
need to
have.
be tested.
I have heard that they don't do great in saltwater. That no matter how well you clean them, they corrode like hell because they're not. I don't think they got all the stainless goodies on the inside.
Yeah, I
But
recently saw
I don't plan on
something
going in
where,
salt with mine, so I don't care.
Yeah, I recently saw something where somebody pulled like the prop off and like the prop shaft was like had some rust pitting rust or however you want to put that.
If it'll get me like 3 years before the rust eats it in half, I feel like that's what I would have to pay for one. It's well worth it. I could buy one every few years.
I mean, how long are torpedoes lasting? Like
forever, because
I was going to say the same
they're
thing.
cut like anybody. I've got a buddy Matt that's had one since like he bought it used like 4 years ago. It's an original 403, not a 403A AC, none of that. An original. Their customer support's so good that like he sent it in. They did a maintenance overhaul on it. He used it for 2 years, decided he needed the shaft cut down for a different application, sent it back to him. They overhaul it again, sent it back to. It's still going in the same battery pack. Like he's bought an extra one, but that same battery's still kicking.
That's
like it's
the
good
setup
stuff.
I got. That's
I
my
think
setup.
Jay's got the original, right?
Yep, I got the
Is
OG.
yours like super loud?
Yeah, it's loud, and the shaft is shorter too. Because remember how we were talking about on the Frontier? Man, that thing is just barely under the water. You know, I mean, it's as far as it goes down on the, and it's fine, but it'd be nicer if I could get a little lower. I remember hitting up Jeff Little about it, and I was asking him, I was like, hey, can you, is there a way to do this? Make it lengthen, whatever. He's like, no. He's like, you can't compromise the inside of the shaft like at all. Basically, you have to send it in, but I don't even remember past that part of the conversation if it was even an option, or you just got to buy the newer 403 to get the length out of it. Or just go with the 1103. But yeah,
still want one of
it's
those.
it's a good motor though, man. I mean, I got my Liska, and I've always been tempted to put on the Liska because I know that the motor would sit way lower in the water. But either way, though, it moves that Frontier, the F12 at almost 5 miles an hour, like loaded.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Brian still gets 5 in his unlimited with the Newport with 400 pounds of gear.
Dude, I really want to put it. I really want to put it on a Flint and see what it does.
I bet
that'll cook.
I don't know. I can say that the Flint actually disappointed me with a different motor setup because its hull speed is not there. Like,
interesting.
It did not, like, I could probably, like, if I'm really getting it, I could probably paddle it faster. Because you can smoke paddling in the Flint.
Yeah.
But like, I got that same speed with a motor setup on it because the added weight of the motor setup in the battery. Now, this was a 100 amp hour 12 volt. Sure. Which, I mean, if we're going to talk about that, my 100 amp hour 12 and my 50 amp hour 24 weigh the same. But like all of the added weight and shit to get the motor on the Flint, you didn't gain. I got no speed. I mean, you didn't have to paddle. That was kind of cool. And now I will, if you're steering with the motor, dude, that thing will cut a freaking circle in the river though. Like it nose out of the water, just whoop, and it's back up the river. We've got one at the shop right now. We've got a Newport bolted onto a Crescent CK1.
Okay.
I can't wait to get that thing in the water. I might bring it home with me this weekend just because I want to. It's either going to go really fast or I'm going to sink it. I'm kind of curious.
Speaking of the Crescent, have they announced when they're releasing Drew's boat? I know they released like the little teaser video or whatever.
They haven't. They haven't. I don't think publicly, but I know when we're getting the first batch at our shop, and I know what day they're getting there because we're going and grabbing a couple of them.
Is it
so
summer
here you
or
heard it
fall?
here.
Can you say summer?
I can't
or
tell
fall?
you. No,
Spring?
Summer.
Okay.
I'll tell you when we get off, just because you work with a shop. But I won't even say that. I was about to give away a big piece of info. We'll have a couple of them in North Alabama before anyone else does. I can say that, and I won't be owning them, but they will be here.
Nice. Speaking of boats, Dan went to the dark side.
Dun dun dun. Yeah.
How you liking it, man?
I tried to get one of the Jackson Nar. Like I twisted arms and twisted legs and did everything I could to get a Nar, but because I prefer the pedal motion.
Yeah, the centrifugal or circular.
Yeah. But I went to a Hobie. I just
How you liking it, man?
I've taken it out a couple times. It's good. I mean, it's so different from what I had. It's just going to take a while to get used to. And I really, I have a 180 because I was worried about the durability of the 360, and I really get how a 360 would be awesome, So
sure,
it would be awesome. But Susie, the one that we repaired at Del Hollow, it blew up. So me and Susie put one that was almost in pieces, tightened everything up. Dude called me next day, said this thing's working better than it's ever worked. He took it to a tournament the next weekend. He texted me in the middle of the day, said, "Yeah, it blew up. There's shit everywhere." But Hobie replaced it for him. But I mean,
yeah. But then, how long are you without a kayak?
Well, if you have a good shop support, you're not. Because we had spare pedal drives.
Well, my shop's 2.5 hours away, so that's like a day drive.
Yeah.
I lose a day.
You should just buy a boat.
Yeah, because how far is your shop from you,
pedal.
Susie? You're probably, an hour and a half each way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hour and a half.
Yeah. That's what I am, hour and a half each way.
So yeah, what Quest did for me, because I felt so out of place like at Texas because I didn't have my 360 with me, but they lent me a bright orange papaya. 180, which did the job, but like I didn't have my graph or anything like that, so like I felt like really like kind of out of place because like I wanted to see the structure and the temperature and all that other stuff, but I still made it work and whatnot. But yeah, they were able to lend me that boat in the meantime while I'm waiting for my 360 to get fixed.
You broke a belt, didn't you?
Yeah, the drive belt. Yep, I snapped it. So yeah, that's covered under warranty, and I hope to pick it up on my way up to Wisconsin next Friday.
Oh, that's right. You guys got a KBL event, right, or something?
On Akanamawak.
What?
Akanamawak.
Yeah, on Lake Akanamawak in Wisconsin.
It's a Connemawalk.
Is it?
Oh, sorry, Akanamawak.
It is. It's a Connemawalk. But it like the way it's spelled looks like the way Susie's saying it, but it's pronounced Connemawalk.
Typical American.
Yeah, really, the reason I went to
Illinoisan.
I just wanted to put a Newport on the back of my kayak, and I couldn't do that with Old Town.
Yeah,
I didn't have a choice. I wanted to stay with Old Town, but they don't make anything you can put a motor on. Doesn't
the Old Town have the 4-bolt main pattern in the back though?
No, that's just for a power pole because you still have the rudder in the back.
But yeah. I see what you're saying.
Well, I mean, Torqeedo makes a power pole mount, I think, for their motors.
Well, on the Water Innovations,
that's who it is, On the Water.
Yeah. They make a whole like $2,000 setup. Well, I mean, it'd be like $3,000 with the Torqeedo, where it's a setup where you can take off your rudder and then you use the and that's if you have the skills to to put in run all the wires through the hole and all that good stuff.
Come on, bro. You got skills. You got mad
Not like
skills,
that.
bro.
Yeah, not I
It's
won't have them.
spread-
Dude, if
got
you had decided to do that, I would have
spreadsheet
100% done it for you, man. I love rigging kayaks too. So fun.
But then you can take the torpedo off and add. They have a rudder that you can put in place and all that. But the setup was so expensive, it was cost prohibitive. It didn't make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. I get that. I always forget about the rudder in the back, the way that because they mount those right to the back of the boat, so they flip up and down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a bad thing about the power pole mount on the big water is I've had a power pole and I kept having issues where it would get stuck and it wouldn't come back up, and that's why I eventually got rid of it. But they sell
ask you something. Did you use the battery on that? Did you have the battery, or were you? Mm-hmm. So it was the actual power pole battery.
Yeah,
dude, everybody has a problem with that. I did too. Jameson had it as well. They say it's a firmware thing. Yeah, dude. So the only way to get around that is to run that on a regular battery. Is just go to an external battery.
Like hardwired in.
Yeah, dude. Oh, we were like in the Snake River, dude, and the thing would just bottom out and you're screwed. And then you gotta do the release and then either have a buddy come over and help you. Actually, you take the battery off. That's
you take the battery off. Yeah. And that's what I had to do.
Back of a buddy.
Yeah, with the big water, because it's got a hole in the back, rather than it going off the back of the kayak, you can't do the release because you can do the cord and the release where you pull it and that lets go, but then that just lets the pole go back. But if it's not on the back of the kayak, you can't use that. So then you're just stuck. And my fat ass, I'm not climbing in the back behind my, behind my crate.
Yeah.
No.
I've heard too many horror stories of power poles, man. I'll probably never own one of them.
It's awesome. If it works, it's awesome.
Mine. The very first time I went out in mine, I freaked out because the balance in the back when that pole is all the way up and the way it shakes, I was like, oh God. So I gotta practice with mine to get used to it.
I thought being a woman with that shake, you'd be excited about that kind of thing.
Well, it's just it's such a different feeling because you have this weight
that's top heavy
kayak, and it's top heavy. It's weird. And when I'd be moving and turning around, the back end of my boat would be blue, and I'd be like, oh God, am I gonna tip over? It was weird.
If you don't have a real stable kayak either, and the pole's down, it feels like you're getting high sided on a log. That feeling where you're up on top of a log.
I actually did something like that. The first time I used one, my buddy had one on a Flint at a demo day, and I paddled the kayak around. And when I came in, he had just got it and hadn't set anything on it. And I nosed the boat onto the beach and I hit the button down. And I don't know if I was in a hard spot on the beach or a rock, but it just picked the back of the boat up out of the water and tipped me out of it.
Wow.
I was only knee deep water, so it didn't matter. But apparently, you can adjust pressures and shit on them. But it was all the way up because I pressed down and it's IndyCar pump jack.
Maybe the new one's better, but if they work perfect in some situations, it's just unbelievable. But most of the times, it's not really needed.
I'll just get by with my old stakeout poles.
Well, that's the thing too. I was actually thinking about getting the Yak Gadget set up on the side and just using my power pole stake at this point, just using that to stake out. Because the other thing too, a lot of people do is they'll use a little anchor on the front of their kayak, and then set it out there, go back a little bit, and then put the stake down, and that usually will put you in place where you're not moving around too much.
My buddy Matt Stewart got me onto running dual stakeout poles. He'll do a river stick or power pole or the Yak Gadget in the back, and then put an Omega rod holder in the front, angled off. So you anchor down in the back and then stab one in the front. That way you're not drifting or anything. I like anchors, an actual physical anchor, but I've had a bunch of issues with them.
I've had to cut a few.
Claw, the bomb, they all find a way to hang up or, smack the front of your boat, or they won't deploy correctly. Or I think I've broke 3 anchor wizards because it just can't take up the abuse of using it. Because I used to use one on the bow, river fishing. So you'd go through a rapid, drop the anchor. it'd catch, you'd spin the boat around and face upstream, and like just sitting there, the anchor wizard just can't handle that, and it just snaps the internals. I mean, we're not talking about like class 3 rapid water or nothing, just a little bit of current.
I've got two of them for parts if you want them. They don't work anymore.
I bet they broke the same part.
I had one on my boat for like a month. When I don't even use this, but I fish a lot of lakes. You know what I mean?
It largely depends on where you fish.
I'm talking.
You know, if you're like
that is.
Oh, anchor wizard. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I mean, I'm sure it's all relative.
I just got the Yak Edged stakeout system when I was down there, and I'll probably be using it coming up here now that we finally got some nice weather. We went from winter to middle of August.
Jesus,
you know,
God, it's so hot,
dude.
Sorry, guys, it's my fault. I mean, like the heat just came back up with me.
Sunday was like 50 degrees. The low was like 30 something, and yesterday and today was a high of 91 up here.
Our heat
Like,
index
hotter than
was
us.
104.
Yeah, you guys are hotter than us.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Maybe Satan's ball sack's finally relocating to the fucking Midwest or something.
Yeah. You know what it is? Like God's finally dealing with Illinois like it should have a long time ago.
Yeah. That is for sure.
I got out. I got out.
Brian,
I'm really close to the border.
Are you planning on printing something? Because that's a mother of a printer you got there. Like
this
printer? Like you have your camera all on it, like you're proud of it.
No, that's just a hat with some Costas, bro.
What's underneath it?
This is a printer.
Yeah, a printer.
That's a fucking fax machine.
It's like a commercial grade printer.
Well, I used to own my own business, bro.
Oh, okay.
I used to have to print invoices and all that crap.
I got you. You just have the camera on it, like you're proud of it.
My daughter uses that more than I do. I can tell you that much. But I gotta reconfig. You know, I kind of had to move out of this studio we had, and like now I'm all by myself and had to resort to the little office up here. You know. So
virtual hug.
No, it's on the desk. I have nowhere to put it up here. I don't know. I'll figure it out sooner or later. But you guys got anything else, man? Like what's new? What's going on? Topics. Let's go.
Gunnersville's frog fishing's already on fire. I'm fucking psyched about that.
What?
I saw Shane posted Cali.
Yeah, but nobody cares what's happening in California. I'm totally kidding. We just did a California show. Shane's gonna end up talking me into coming out there to fish Clear Lake. It's coming. Like I caught myself looking today. Like I think I can swing that money. I can swing that trip. No, I don't need to swing that trip. But
you're gonna have to fly, dude. Like
no, I'm gonna drive.
Oh my god, that's gonna hurt.
Because I don't just want to go to Cali. I want it. There's a bunch. I'm gonna go one way there.
There's so much water in between.
Way back.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, you lose 6 days, 3 days there and 3 days back.
I'm gonna lose more than that because I'm gonna be stopping.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna hit Vegas.
He's got the panhandle for gas money. Like I mean, Jimmy's gonna be like, "Cool. Well, I'm here for a week."
Hey, what happened to our retirement? Oh, it's gone. It's all gone.
Yeah,
it's gone.
But I had a great trip.
It's gone.
No, I went out yesterday on Gunnersville though, and Gunnersville's. I went to a spot that usually this time of year is not all that great, and it was just on fire, dude. It was great. First time I fished till dark in a long time.
Yeah, here comes Adam.
Everybody's saying, "Here comes Adam."
Everybody, there he is.
Whoa, look at those guns, dude! Look at those guns.
I'm saying, look at those guns.
Oh man,
Adam's been pumping iron.
Best
Adam's defending himself now. That's good.
That's
good.
Got the moisture shirt on.
Adam got sick of the closet, so he started pumping iron. I love it. I love
I
it.
can only
These
say,
need
assume
steel
they're
kick
saying
his
very
ass,
nice
let's be
about
real.
it.
Oh yes, they are. They're saying such
And it-
flattering things.
Silky too. It's
All
like
right, love you
silk
guys.
and
Blah.
iron.
See you, Adam. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. But ICAST is right around the corner. Anybody
going?
looking forward to anything coming out? I'll be there. I've told everybody I will be there. Let me know who's coming. So
Well, you're going with New Canoe. That doesn't fucking count.
I can go many different ways. It's all a matter of
We
which
know.
way I want to go.
Yeah.
I know you're jealous. It's okay.
Wait, Orlando. It's in Orlando.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish I could. Man, I burnt up so much vacation time this year already. I'm in trouble.
I've been holding out just to go to that, like holding out on going on any more trips right now because I really want to go, but I only really want to go if more of the PNF folks go. I mean, that's nothing. Like again, it's going with Brian. We've traveled together before, but he's going to be doing work with New Canoe and shit, and I want to do it like a paddle and fin trip kind of thing, to ICAST. So I was hoping like Dustin goes or.
I bet Dustin will go because I was looking today at vendors and that's one thing I will say. Last year, this year compared to last year, a lot more companies are showing up. Looks like a lot more booths are filling up. Jackson wasn't there last year. They're going to be there this year. I'm sure that's because they released the NAR. And then Yak Attack wasn't there last year. They'll be there this year. There was a whole slew of companies that wasn't there last year that'll be showing up this year. So I think it's going to be a really good show. I'm just curious to see what gets released come ICAST time.
I don't know. Just being part of a shop, being so close to the guys that run it, I haven't heard of too many teasers. I've heard of one.
I know one that's coming out.
Yeah. That as an ICAST release, I know of one. But I mean, New Canoe's not dropping a new boat. They may have little nuggets. Like the NAR is already out. I mean, that's going to be. We need to clip that, and on our show, every time someone says it, I just nick
the NAR.
But
It's gnarly.
I don't know.
Next
I mean,
year, let's plan on next year a paddle and fin whole deal.
I'm down.
Extravaganza.
Next year I'll go.
It appeals to me because you can't spend money at it. Like,
well, that it's not just about like the product, but like it's also the networking.
That's another reason why I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
I need a sunglass sponsor.
The NAR.
You can get a sunglass sponsor. That's pretty easy.
Yeah, I want a specific one or two. There's only I don't want just anybody's glasses because I'm rough on glasses, so they got to make it. Smith?
Do you like Smith?
Yeah. I haven't tried Smith, and
Smith is going to be at the show this year.
Yeah, because I used to wear Smith like 10 years ago, but that was wasn't fishing related. It was just wearing Smith,
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be willing to try some Smiths. The ones I'm looking at the most right now is Nines. Nines I wear. They're really, really good clarity. And apparently they're real tough. But the Bahio, those are cool. Which, those are basically Costas. Because it's those folks.
I've had some Ray-Bans for, I even lost some and then bought the same model again. I love so much that I can't get off of them.
No, around the house, around town, I wear Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
I'm a
it's a big old head.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like if you got a fat head, it's hard to you can't wear Oakleys. Oakleys just strangle the head.
No Wiley X. No Oakleys.
That's another one I've heard is really good. Wiley X.
Yeah.
Never heard of those.
Really?
They're safety glasses too. So
okay,
that's good.
Yeah. Speaking of sponsors, I'm currently in the works. Hopefully getting a new one.
Oh, snap! Who's that? Can you tell us? What category is it?
She's-
Finder.
she
Oh,
starts off with all
alright.
that. Well,
All
what-
right. Well,
Lawrence
Fish
girl,
finder.
right?
It's either Lowrance or Hummingbird. Because we know Garmin doesn't sponsor anybody. Those sons of bitches.
they don't have.
yeah.
It's just like why Shimano doesn't ever have a sale. It's good. People are going to buy it anyway.
Hey, they're having a
Check it
sale
out.
right now at Mark's Outdoors. They're having a Shimano sale right now. Actually,
10% off.
No,
anything Shimano is
it's more
usually
than that.
great.
Pretty good.
Dude, I
Marks
got
does
spinning
because
reels
they
when
do
I was
so
a
much
kid.
volume.
they're one of the highest volume. I mean, I'm not with Mark's, but they're one of the highest volume dealers, Shimano dealers in the country. So they actually sell their stuff cheaper. You can really get a good
Well,
deal
most of their
right
stuff's overpriced, but when they do a sale, it's a real sale.
Yeah.
Like I did a Shimano
like-
deal there a couple years ago, and what I paid for the reel, they gave me the rod, and the rod costs more than the reel. And I was confused when I paid for it. I was like, "Wait, are you sure?" They're like, "Yeah." I just walked out of the
Yeah,
store
but-
with it. Like, did I steal this? Like, I don't understand
But
this. math.
think about like, whatever cost you're paying for Shimano, right? When we were kids, and like I said, I still got a couple reels when I was like Shimano reels from when I was a kid. I have never cleaned them ever, ever. They've fallen in the water.
They probably still
I'm
got
sure
the same
they-
freaking line on them too. We know how you
Oh,
are
it's
about
probably
that shit.
it's probably right. It's like either way though, those things never seize up. Never. I've never had
No,
a Shimano
I've got like
seize
a
up.
20-year-old greenie over there that I just put up because it still works. I just don't want it to break. I don't think it ever would, but it's just that old. It's been through that much abuse. The fact that it still works like flawlessly is mind-boggling.
I've been. I'll tell you what. Speaking of sponsors, not that I'm the greatest angler or anything. I've been trying to get a rod sponsor for a while because I actually have some like really good ideas. So if a rods people ever watch this, holler at me because I actually have some ideas for rods, for kayak rods that nobody has ever done. That would be a great idea.
I would
So-
say like a tip for that would be to look at more of the smaller end custom rod builders. There's a really good one in Alabama. He's not really. I don't even know how much he does anymore, but they're all hand built, and his stuff's fantastic.
Yeah.
Dan wants to talk about playing with his rods.
Boom, boom.
But Dan, I want to tell you something. Does every like big FLW name or whatever win every tournament?
Oh no.
No. So
But, like-
you don't have to be, like a top angler or a
Yeah.
top tournament angler or anything like that,
Look at me, I'm
Now-
doing just fantastic, and I suck.
right? So,
Human fish, bro.
it's not necessarily always about winning. You can win in more than one different way.
It's,
it doesn't
yeah,
always
you have to
be
kiss
the
more
Right.
ass than anyone else. That is the key. Some would
You
even
know.
say you have to suck for success.
You have to have a
Wow.
big TikTok following like Susie does.
No, no.
Susie, you TikTok?
TikTok.
I am on TikTok, but like I have like 3 things posted on there. I
Man,
don't
I
regularly
totally
post
just
on there.
deleted TikTok after listening to a real technical podcast about
Here's
like
a
social media stuff, and it freaked me out enough I deleted it.
Great TikTok story. Hey, Jay,
Uh-oh.
can you do me a favor and create a paddle and fin TikTok? Sure, Brian. No problem. Couple days later, hey, Jay, what are you doing? Watching TikTok. Day later, Jay, what are you doing? Watching TikTok. Dude, I've been watching TikTok for like 6 hours. Week later, hey, Jay, what's up? Man, I've been watching TikTok nonstop. I got to delete this from my phone.
I deleted it. It was the rabbit hole. Because I don't know why we have the over time, right? So I mean, most of us grew up kind of in the middle, with like growing up with like pagers and then cell phones and video games and all that as everything
That's how you
progressed.
tell your old
But
pagers.
now, yeah, I know. But now, like my attention span is so short, and
Squirrel.
it's appalling. I mean, there was a time when I would actually, like put some effort into like reading something or whatever, but I get in like, 4 words. I'm like, I'm bored.
Dude, I'll tell you
I mean,
this.
so
I
TikTok
deleted,
has done that.
Yeah.
like I listened to this podcast and they talked about how they had some of these like crazy, developers go in and just analyze it. and they came back horrified about how it works, how it pays attention to.
Yeah.
Well, not even that. How it
Oh,
pays
yeah.
attention to how you do certain things so that you will stay on the app. And I was just like blown away. Got off that, quit listening to that show, deleted the app. In the week and a half I haven't had it, I've went fishing 3 more times than like.
Oh yeah.
And it's not that you were like, I don't want to fish, I want a TikTok. It's just like, well, I've got nothing to do, I'm gonna go fishing. It's like I was spending all that time on my stupid fucking phone, and it just drives me nuts.
Yeah, it's easy because now YouTube's got Reels, right? And then there's the other ones.
Now
it's all the same.
Saying all this,
Instagram
saying
has
all of
Reels
this,
now, too.
it's a great business tool.
yeah.
So I think we should have a paddle and fin TikTok.
Somebody else should run it. I think I still got the.
It's crazy. On YouTube, I have like 156 subscribers. My page sucks. But if I post a short, it's getting 2,000 plus views.
Which is
There you
crazy,
go.
right?
Yeah, Brad Hicks is like, out of all of us, I feel like he's the guy that understands the social media stuff. And
Brad
that's
would
what
be
he
good
told
at
me.
it,
He was like,
man.
dude, the key is reels, and anything under, like, I think he said like 50 seconds or something like that. He's like, that's your gold. And then he was like, I've tried to figure out TikTok. Their algorithms are weird as shit. I wouldn't waste my time.
Yeah, I know John Graves crushes it on TikTok.
His stuff's really
His
Oh,
videos are great.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think he's got 40,000 followers or something like that.
On
I
TikTok?
looked at it. I think so. I looked at it the other day. Maybe that wasn't him I'm thinking of, but I looked it up and was blown away. I don't have TikTok. I can't look it up. Ha!
But I've always said,
Yes, you
dude,
do.
Johnny is perfect for social media. That guy is articulate. He tells the story great.
He falls out of kayaks on live streams.
Yeah, his enthusiasm, dude. Like, even the volume of how he talks, it's just perfect. I mean, he is perfect for social media.
I'm perfect.
What do
for
you
a
think
like-
is more beneficial? So since we're talking about social media and YouTube and things like that, do you think it's personality, quality of content? I mean, list off like what's
sex appeal
most important.
We're fucked. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yes.
If that's it.
Yeah. I don't know. The
I'll
bikini
tell you
doesn't
what
fit
it
so good
is.
anymore.
What is it,
Susie's
Susie?
got it. What's
There's
up?
2 words. Okay.
Piercing
Big
blue
titties.
eyes.
Damn, no, that wasn't it.
Shut up!
Those are the 2
No,
words?
wait, hold on, wait. I didn't say it right. You shut your whore mouth, all right?
Yeah.
Man,
Anyway, okay. Originality and authenticity.
Authenticity.
Authenticity, yes.
There we go. You lost a
Don't
couple
let the
subscribers.
Alabama guy do that to you.
you
No, I mean, it's just like anything, right? People are going to watch it for you, so
Exactly.
some people are like you, some people aren't, and if you're putting stuff out there, I mean, and that's the thing too, right? There's only a very small percentage that just, have stardom within the first month. However that kicks
You're
off.
not going to
it
go
kicks off, but-
viral,
No, you have to put in massive time. I mean, all the big YouTubers have always put in massive time.
Something you can say now in the fishing world too. I got this off of the Robert Turkla's new podcast, because he's doing stuff outside of fishing.
Yep.
That's Lunkers TV for anybody that doesn't know who that is. The fishing and outdoor has exploded so much that it went from like 50 notable social media people to like 30,000. So your chances of, even if you are authentic and everything is a good green check, it doesn't matter. Like, it's so oversaturated that you're gonna have to work twice as hard as the originals did to do anything. I would say what makes a good channel for me is like relatability. It doesn't necessarily have to be authentic, because I mean, let's be real. How much can you do authentic filming fishing? Like, you can, but
Well,
I mean-
also what I mean by like authentic means just like, you're just doing your style of like whatever you do. So like you're not out there going like, hey guys, Susie here with Tactical Bass. You're not like trying to copycat, or anything like that, but just like, again,
There goes my YouTube page.
you're relating to everybody, but you've got your own like flair to it and everything.
Yeah.
So Ram Garcia is in the chat and he says media ruined the fishing community.
It's definitely just starting to.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, we all know too, like the ones who are making it. I mean, I ended up, I don't know what this guy's name is, but he has his girlfriend in a tank top with like nothing on under it all the time. And they're always fishing and cooking. I'm like, what? And like, I'm like, gee, I wonder why this guy's got a huge following. It's not because of him.
And see, like,
is
it something that I would do? No, but I mean, if
There's
you're
a
trying to
channel.
make a living, respect the hustle. Like, come on.
Well, there's a
I get
channel
it.
I follow, and it's a married couple, and they moved like somewhere like British Columbia or something like that, and they bought a chunk of land, and they were, their whole thing on their channel was they were going to live off the land. They moved out of the big city, wanted to get away from all the hustle and bustle bullshit, and built a yurt, and they're eventually going to build a cabin on this land, and that shit I'm interested in. But like every thumbnail, his wife is like it'll be the dead of winter, and she's got like a bra or a bikini top on it, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? This dude is whoring out his wife for views. Like, I'm like, screw this. I'm not even watching this crap anymore, dude.
He's
And,
lying.
and,
But
and,
dude,
and that's just
we're
it. Like, they got like
predisposed to that.
millions of views. What?
Yeah, we're predisposed to that. We're engineered for that. Like all like media, right?
But
They have engineered everybody to be horn dogs and to be like looking for this stuff.
But
I saw
you look
3
at that,
thumbnails
though.
like that, and I was like, screw that. I'm done with this.
Yeah, but you look at that though, and you're like, okay, he's obviously targeting a certain audience with that aspect. So do you think companies who are seeing that are going to want to sponsor that? That's another thing you got to think about too.
I'm going to say yeah, because
I mean, yes,
money's money.
Well, yes, there is that too, but like
Exposure.
it also comes down to on
Yep.
how that person wants to be represented by the companies as well. Because I mean, yeah, any woman can go out there and pour themselves out, be like, yeah, this company just keeps giving me money because I'm showing my tits and everything. Okay, yeah, that's great, but no.
Well, then, and like, I know what channel he's talking about. I can't think of the name of it.
Here, I just found it. I'll share this. Let me share this.
My new thumbnails are going to be fire, by the way.
Oh, Jesus.
Right there. Right there.
Yeah.
In a bikini top. Like,
Off
really?
grid with Jake and Nicole. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Bottom
something
boob.
I'll say to this, I don't agree with. So like in our fishing world, when you see the bikini angler, okay, most of the time that blonde bitch has no clue what the fuck she's doing. And okay, in their situation, they really do have really good content. They are not
And they
doing
do.
brand deals. They're not doing brand deals. So it's not like she's like, thank you, Walmart. Look at my boobs. She's not doing that. It's the thumbnail to get you there. Like,
Right.
I feel like what they're doing and what we see people doing with brand deals in the fishing community is a little bit different. He's just figured out a way to get you to click on his video. Where when you follow some of the bikini anglers, like that's all it is. They're like holding the reel upside down, like, oh my God, look at this Goliath grouper. Like, shut up, bitch. You don't know what you're doing.
I know they get a lot, but like I can't subscribe to that stuff. But because I can't be looking at it, I can't look at it on my phone and then either my son or my wife see it and it's like, oh, why are you following her? Or I feel bad about it. Like it's everything on social media.
See, with my wife, my wife's like, damn, look at those tits. I'm like, yeah, I know, right?
But I mean, but the thing is, we bring it up because like a lot of people, are the comparison just in numbers, like that stuff is just gonna go through the roof every time. But you do got the other people who are out there who are legit and aren't using that stuff, and they have good content and people are following them because to everyone else's point, just because the likability and just the kind of person, the information,
Greg Blanchard.
It's worth watching. Yeah. And he's a pretty subtle dude, and he's always entertaining. There's always something to learn. And I feel like he's kind of rose to the top. Like there's still, I think some of those heavy hitters just aren't like the heavy hitters in the fishing world as much now. Since it's been saturated and new people have come up. But
some of the guys that are like what we consider heavy hitters have been in it so long, they've got to be tired of it, which I think is part of why you're seeing like lunkers do something different. Because Jesus, I've done this for a minute.
He went for the opening.
It's exhausting.
Got whooped and decided to do something different.
I was listening to it. He still made some money, but I mean, he did a little preview of his history. He started he had fished. Do you know he started fishing for YouTube because someone told him to? Because his success actually came from video gaming. He sold a video game company, decided to kick off YouTube, and Hector, who is a huge YouTuber, was one of the bigs at one time, told him, you need to get into fishing YouTube because it's popping off right now. And this was back like 2000, or like early, like 2012, 13, 2010. Yeah. He's like, okay. So he just started fishing. Like, it's like to see him go from not doing it and then worked his way up, and then he fished opens and he didn't do good, but he won a couple checks here and there, and like he just kind of floated the wave as it went, and then it, now it's on to something else. And like he preaches about, like, for the social media people, like, try to create a brand, not something that's hard when the YouTube ends, not a brand of yourself, but something like they did with like Guggen Baits.
Sure.
And like I'm telling this whole thing, I should just link the fucking thing, but they get into it, and he's talking about, like, the bigger picture is what we're doing that we're not even talking about. He was like, a little nugget that no one knows is we just bought Bass Mafia, and we're about to acquire 3 more companies, big hitters in the fishing industry. You'll never know it because we're letting them keep their own name and all that stuff. We're just buying them. And I mean, it's like the smart business side of it versus, what you see with a lot of people where it's like the YouTube's the only thing.
No. I've recently, I've never gotten into his stuff, but I've recently, like, just in the last month, started watching Mr. Beast. I'm like, I'm pretty obsessed with it, man.
Dude, you should, just because you brought him up, you need to watch Joe Rogan's, or listen to Joe Rogan's show with him.
Actually,
golly, that kid's 23 and has hundreds of millions of dollars come through his way, and lives in like a regular ass house, drives a regular ass vehicle. Well, I mean, he says he has a Tesla now, I think, but like,
he doesn't keep.
He's like, I don't do this for money. I do this to give it away and help people. And like, his business models, like, he said he had heard a fact that only 10% of the world speaks English. He said, well, shit, I'm missing 90% of the world for viewers on YouTube. So he started what they call dub channels. He's having all the famous voice actors in other countries translate all of his YouTube in other languages. So he has a Japanese channel, he has a Hispanic channel, and it's just the same videos translated to people that those countries can relate to. Like the dude's business, Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
Look him up. You will be stuck on his videos. It's annoying.
It's super entertaining.
The other thing, like to the point of like branching out or starting something beyond YouTube, is they started Mr. Beast burgers.
Yeah.
So
Mr. Beast bars.
Yeah, Beastables, like candy bars.
Yeah, Feastables. Yeah, right there. Yeah, chocolate bars and 3 flavors.
So they figured it out. And I mean, there was one up by Bolingbrook where I used to live in Illinois. It had burger. It was burger. But they're
he's just one of those people that sees a way to make $1. And then he takes all the money from all that, and he put all the money from their food sales goes into his food banks, where he gives, like food banks you have in your community. He owns one of those, or 3 of them. And he said that they fed 1 million people last year, and now he's taking it worldwide. He's going to be the biggest food bank in the world.
Yeah.
And like his YouTube, he has 90 million YouTube subscribers. Fathom that.
I think
That's
he's
one-
got the most out
one
of
channel.
anybody,
He has-
right?
He has over 200 million followers across all of his channels. Yeah, he's the number one YouTuber in the world.
Didn't he plant like 1 million trees or something too?
Yeah.
And then get
Yeah.
other people to
20
do it.
million.
Yeah.
I was
Was
gonna
it
say,
20
like, yeah,
million?
he's got 20
And then he got
million.
other people to do it too, right?
Yeah. So like his YouTube, we're talking about the social
So
media and how being an influencer gets you things is he did a Thanksgiving food drive for the needy and he gave away 10,000 turkeys. And Joe Rogan was like, well, how much did 10,000 turkeys cost? He said, nothing. A company wanted a shout out that sold turkeys. I told them to give me 10,000 turkeys. They gave me 10,000 turkeys.
It's PewDiePie that's got the number one channel.
PewDiePie,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
The
I don't
gamer.
even
He's
know
got
that.
110 million.
Oh, I don't know
Where's
what that
Where's
is.
Markiplier on there? Is Markiplier still on the top?
No.
Sorry, this
And
is stuff from
Mr.
my kids. I
Beast?
used to watch on the.
Y'all ever seen? Well,
Mr. Beast isn't even in the top 10.
As of a week ago, he was number one. He,
but
This
that's
is an
probably
old article.
across
it's
all of
it's
them.
number
Yeah.
one totals
Yeah.
because he has over 200 million between 5 or 6 channels.
Yeah, and
I
he
have
said he
100.
spends like $1 million on every video or something.
He
Or
spent
they-
on the
they-
Squid Games video. He said he spent $4.5 million, and the video only made $2 million. I was like, geez, I wish
Yeah,
I could take a $2 million
Must be
L.
nice to have that
if
kind
you
of
haven't
money.
if you haven't seen the Squid Games, I mean, if you watch Squid Games, you have to watch that too. It's amazing what they recreated with it.
PewDiePie's got more than him. Mr.
What's
Beast has got
PewDiePie?
91.8.
I don't even know what that is.
PewDiePie does like gaming stuff.
Yeah, he's just a Swedish
Interesting.
dude. He does commentary and and he's also had like issues with
But I think like
canceling and all
Jimmy,
that crap.
I think like
Yeah,
Jimmy
what?
said, with all of his channels combined, I think he blows everybody else away.
Yeah, he said he gains on one. I can't remember which one of his channels. I think he said he gains 2 million followers a month on one of his newer channels. And like he has a channel that's just them reacting to funny videos, like reacting to TikToks, and it's got like 26 million people following it. Like, Jesus, think if a fishing YouTuber could do that. I wonder if is there a fishing YouTube? Well, yeah, the Guggen guys. Never mind. I was gonna say, is there a fishing YouTuber over 1 million? But I forget.
Yeah, I think LFG's got the most.
Yeah, him. I know. I think Rob has 2. LFG's got a bunch. Which I don't know. Did any of y'all actually watch him before he joined that?
Lake Fork?
Yep.
Yeah,
I
his
did.
YouTube was
Yep.
gold.
Yeah.
That was like
he's
my
a
main source
super
of info.
likable guy. That's why he's a down to earth goofball. Doesn't care about embarrassing himself. Like I mean, he just puts it out there, and I don't know. Like, I mean, out of that whole group, I like him the best anyway.
Yeah. Which I mean, I don't even know. There's probably 50 of them now. Like you catch
John-
YouTube, and
John
there's like
B's
40 of
alright.
them running around with.
Yeah.
Guggen
John
shirts
B's
on.
alright too, but he's still kind of young and doing young shit. So I'm like, man.
I like his videos because his editing quality is like he's considered one of the best YouTube editors. As like he's really good at it, which I don't even know if he's doing his own anymore because of how big they are. But the John B channel used to be 100%. He did all the editing, and it was like his video quality was fantastic.
I'm trying to find a list, but I can't find any. I mean,
One
there's
day
a
we'll be
list
that-
of like some of the best, but it doesn't rate like from.
I wonder how many
subscriber
Tactical
big.
Bassins got. Tactical Bassins a huge channel.
I think last time I saw they were at like 400, 500,000, something like that.
485. See, something that you see with them though is them repeating a bunch of stuff, which makes
And,
sense
like,
to me because
annual.
new baits come out and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But that's the one thing I hear
diving and
people
stuff.
complain about. The what?
I don't know. I like it when they do like when they have one of them throw a lure through the water, through the grass and everything, and one of them will go in the water, under the water, and record it and everything. I think that's cool. It's like a shot you just don't see.
Yeah.
This one
show like the different baits and how they like sink in the water and everything. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's
the like they'll catch fish with somebody down in the water.
That's the YouTube that them having brand deals makes the most sense, because every time I watch one of their freaking videos, I spend money.
Yep.
Because I'm like, ooh,
Tackle Warehouse, like click, click, click.
Yep.
It's
we need to get a Final Cast affiliation link.
Do what now?
We need to get the Final Cast to where they have an affiliation link on Tackle Warehouse or Amazon or something.
They just did an episode recently about online tackle shops and stuff like that, which was actually pretty interesting because there was some I had never heard of.
Yeah.
And there was, obviously the Tackle Warehouse and things like that. And they were talking about some JDM stuff too. I don't know, I know they were kind of hesitant to give away some of that info on how they were getting some of those JDM reels for so cheap and stuff like that. But
they'd be stealing them.
Good stuff. It was eBay.
Some Japanese guy takes used ones and cleans them up and then sells them, and they take such good care of their stuff. It's like new.
Yeah.
And them JDM reels are so smooth too. I don't know what is different, like what trash we get in the box compared to what they get, but
it's the other side of the world. The bearings go the other way. So.
Oh, you have to reel your bait caster backwards.
Ha ha! I mess with white men. Ha 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 ha! I got you.
And we're banned from YouTube.
There we go. Canceled finally. All right.
You're welcome.
Culture. Here they come.
I'm just kidding.
Is Japan one of those videos that we get listens in because it just ended?
Yeah, we get a little bit out that way.
You have to follow that up with "I'm very sorry."
No, don't do that.
No,
actually,
it's
a private message.
I remember. I remember it was. I think it was me and Jay did a show with a guy from. What was that company, man? Doomsday Tackle. And the dude was talking about how basically all your rods and reels are all made in the same factory or the same 5 factories overseas, and they just slap a different label on it. But for some reason, they build higher quality stuff, for the Japanese market because they take that stuff so serious,
That was a really good episode, actually, because I think he had said he was stationed in Korea, or somehow he was in Korea, learned Korean, had a Korean wife, and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was a really eye-opening episode to get the back end of the fishing world. It's deep in the archives, probably season 3, maybe 2. But
he lost me with Doomsday Turtle, though. So.
Yeah.
That's why I've always wrote that company off, because that's the bait that always pops in my head.
I've been on their website a bunch. At the end of the year or Black Friday, they were having 2-for-1 sales of their JDM rods, and I almost bought some. I mean, they look high quality. I've just never known anybody to use one.
I refuse to put a JDM rod in my hand because it'll be just like everything else, and there goes my wallet. I need to be happy with the shit that I have.
Yeah, my
shit's good.
Rodney Hicks, local guy here, he's sponsored by them.
Yeah,
and he uses their rods and stuff like that, man. And he swears by them. He loves them. I've never actually physically used one of them. I've seen them. I mean, they look sexy. But I've never used one.
Yeah, the closest thing I would say I've used is a mega bass rod. And
I've never used one of those either.
All you need is a Shakespeare or nice old ugly stick, man. You're good to go.
Yeah, says the guy that was wanting to upgrade all this stuff. You still want me to get you some reels?
I have no money. Dude,
I'm broke.
From moving, there's just no way. I just went right back into debt. I have to work a lot soon. to get more money. It just sucks. Yeah, I can't buy anything. Yeah, I forgot about that. I stopped buying anything. I was like, whatever. I was like, I don't need anything else.
I'm about to go.
I'm just gonna leave that over there.
I'm about to go buy me a bunch. Figured I'd buy you some too if you're still wanting some.
I like those, man. I do want them, but man, I just
What
can't
reels?
justify it.
Shimano SLXs.
What do you like about
Yeah,
it?
there we go.
They're smooth.
They're just smooth, man. Yeah, I mean they just work. I guess I mean, everyone knows I don't use a lot of high end stuff anyway, and those aren't really high end reels either, but they're high enough end where they feel, they feel like a $250 reel.
And it's because
that's a good
basically
reel.
it's a Shimano Corrado internals and a poly housing.
Mhm.
So it's like they give you the goods in just a shitty case. But I mean, when me and Jay were talking about it down there, like some of my SLXs perform better than my Corrado Ks. So I'll say this: my Corrado DC and my Shimano, my SLX DC. My SLX DC is way better than my Corrado DC. I don't understand it. I take care of my reels all the same way, same line on them. My SLX DC, which was about $70 or $80 cheaper, works way better than its $250, higher end version of itself. But I don't understand. But they are like
Plus they look cool.
You use Abu, don't you, Jay?
What's that?
I said you use Abu, don't
No,
you?
as I was just thinking. Yeah, well, I use Abu, and then like I even have a couple Ardents, like sadly. Oh my god, those things are horrible. I mean, I don't mean to knock them, but I'm just gonna do it because they're you can get the same reel and they all act different. Even the highest end one, they all act different. I mean, I'm not gonna. I got two of them on my pike rods, and they brought in some pike, but they act different. I don't know what the deal is. I have them professionally cleaned. I don't like the hokey plastic inside.
Professionally clean. This man dips them fuckers in the toilet. I guarantee it.
Dude, I hate it.
Another Jay Randall reel.
I've had a couple of Ardents and they were no bueno.
Dude, actually so they have a tournament reel. And I don't know if it's the Denny Brower one or not. That reel is actually really good, and that's a $50 reel. That reel seems to work better than all the other reels. They're spinning reels. Forget about it. Forget about it. It's
forget about it.
Just run them over. I mean, go get a Shakespeare. I mean, you're gonna get a better deal.
I feel like Shimano and Dio are top tier. Like every lose I've ever had, I've had a problem with. Every lose I've tried bunches of them, had problems with all of them.
I've never used one, but that new Akuma Helios, I think, not Helios, whatever the brand new one is, that one actually looks good. I'm not going to buy it, but
see, some of the lower end Akumas will have, like Jay was saying, they all act different. Some of them will have, like I have one out there right now because I like taking my reels apart and cleaning them and stuff. My buddy was like, "Hey, I've got this Akuma that every now and then it just disengages itself and won't spin the bell." And I've taken that thing apart 15 different times, and everything looks exactly the way it's supposed to be. I've downloaded diagrams. Everything's perfect, but that thing will just disengage just because it wants to. Like you'll be reeling your bait back, and you'll hear it go click. The button never moves, but you're doing this, and nothing else is happening. There's no clicking. There's no meshing. Don't know.
Hakai. Hakai.
Hakai.
Okay. Really good.
I don't know.
Gotta get that slim, man.
I was gonna say I'm still a big fan of the Bass Pro qualifiers. I mean,
hell yeah.
I've had a ton.
I mean,
I usually buy 2 of them a year for backups.
Yeah, they're great. You can beat them up, and they work.
Yeah, you can get them at the end of the year, usually around Christmas, like
60,
two for $100.
Yeah,
and that's the best.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's when I buy them.
If you're looking for low budget,
2 for
like a good quality reel to get into bait casting and have a few reels, if you don't have money for good stuff, that's unbeatable. Yep.
Well, and you can also too just do the bearing upgrade, and then you pretty much add about $75 to your reel. So I mean, there are options with those, because those are pretty much the same as what some of the Daiwas, and like there's like 5 or 6 companies that
I want
kinda
to say
make
that
this-
the Bass
have
Pro
the same
Shop reels are
inner-
actually made with loose parts, because I know that the Johnny Morris signature models, I've got a couple of those, and I had to order parts, and you order them from Lou's website.
Oh, okay. So I've never. Yeah, I went to a buddy, and we just ended up buying like I don't know, it was like a 4-pack for like 4 reels. But I mean, I still have metal ones that I bought used,
Oh yeah,
and they're great.
I
For
I
kayaking, it's
just
great.
got rid of
You can
some.
trash
Yeah.
them. Yeah,
I've-
you can
I've
trash
had-
those things. They work.
I've had tons of them since like 2012, 2013, and that I just got rid of them over the last year and a half, 2 years.
What were those two that you gave me?
That's what they
for
were.
part? That's what I couldn't remember.
There you go.
He had some for parts, and like I always like keeping just spare parts because of fixing reels and stuff. They're probably
Yeah.
still up there in a box. Who knows?
Yeah, and you can get pro qualifiers for like, man, the used ones for like $40 on eBay, $45, especially if you're like in like a lefty. I mean, nobody seems to want those. Everybody's like, I'm just gonna switch it to the other hand and reel after I cast. So I never understood.
I was
that,
fishing
but-
with my buddy 2 weeks ago. He's like, I just don't think I can do it. And I was like, which hand do you use to reel up your spinning reel? He's like, my left.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
shut up.
know.
Like you could.
I think we
literally
had
do
this conversation too. Like,
Yeah.
I think last time we were together, because my buddy Glenn like swears it was different. He's like, from a spinning reel to a casting reel, he's like, no, it's totally different the way you reel. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, because you're using a different hand. And he's like, no, it's different. Like, show me it's different. Like, it's show me you're saving time. It's like
different.
I don't see why people aren't doing that. And why are spinning reels always on the left side anyway? Not that I'm complaining, but they're always sold on the left side.
I don't know.
You could
but-
switch
but-
sides.
Yeah, you can
Well,
swap.
of
them
course.
though.
No, I know, but baitcasters are predominantly on the right side. You always see the pros like they cast with their right hand and then they switch to their left hand and then they reel. It's like, why are you doing that? That makes no sense. Like, I don't
Try
get
casting
it.
with your left hand.
Yeah, it's like, well,
Susie.
that's
What's your gear and which handed are you?
Like, what gear do I primarily use in my reels?
Yeah, like what brand?
Oh, Daiwa.
Daiwa.
And
What rods?
I
Susie's
retrieve.
like,
I retrieve left.
You think I would use something?
You're a
less
lefty
than
too?
Iowa.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I just don't know why more people aren't making like this like connection. It's like
So like
it's a little easier.
I'm
Saves a little time.
primarily right-handed, and so like I was trying to figure that out too, like when I was learning how to use a bait caster, but like my right hand is my casting rod, and then I just reel with this hand. It just trying to do other things, like it feels wrong.
Yeah, like setting a hook with your left hand when you're using, or your left arm when you're used to using your right. It's like all of a sudden you're like learning to walk again. You're like, what?
It's just
I had no problem.
I did a
Yeah.
left-handed
Setting on
hook
the
set.
left.
I did a left-handed hook
Yeah,
set
'cause
yesterday.
you're one of
That
them.
was probably the ugliest thing ever.
you're like, ugh.
One
Yeah,
of them.
yeah. You're one of them.
Wow.
That's why. Tell me you're
You're
not.
part of the
Wow.
problem.
What
Brian.
side of your what side of your is your handle on your reels? Tell me.
I think the last time we fished together, Jay, I believe I caught more fish than you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's all right, man.
Actually,
You
that's
still-
probably
you're still a
just
little
about
screwy.
every time we fished together. I think I've caught more.
I don't
fish
even
than you.
remember the last time I fished. Okay,
Dale Hollow. No, you've been fishing in
Oh, no,
Tennessee.
I fished. I fished. I fished out here. I'm just messing around. I've already been on the clinch, caught a couple
I
straws.
think I'm pretty sure this is
I like
Richard
that.
in the chat. He says my best gear comes from the Lost and Found. It's
Hey,
classic.
I do that all the time out on the water. When I see like lures and stuff stuck in the trees and bushes, you better believe I'm going after them.
One of the
Oh, yeah.
first YouTube videos I did for Paddle and Fin, I was up north with the family. We rented a cabin on a lake right outside of Hayward, and I was paddling along, had the GoPro going, and I was fishing around this island, and I found this spinner bait that somebody broke off on a floating tree branch. Well, with a kayak, I went up there. It was like brand new, and I'm like, I think I turned and looked at the camera, and I'm like, well, let's tie this on and see how it goes. And I think I smacked like 4 fish that day. It was a black Colorado blade spinner bait, and it had a chartreuse twister tail grub as a trailer on it. And I'm like,
that's where I left that thing.
You know, yeah. Caught a few fish.
In,
I was like,
in another state, a few hours away.
Yeah, it was awesome. Worked.
One of my favorite things to do when they draw Wheeler Lake down here is one of the launches down here gets a ton of like, it's a very gravelly bottom in the spot of the river. So when they draw it down, you got like 50 yards of new soil you can walk. You can just grab a bucket and go walk up and down the beach for miles and just picking jackhammers off branches and logs. And it's great.
Nice.
And you find some really, really redneck stuff too. I've got
people throw some bullshit.
Yes. I need to get it out of my truck and like hang it up. I have got this 100% homemade spinner bait that I'm pretty sure is a coat hanger. It's got a Colorado blade on it, some weird swivel. There's like a paper clip. It's got like a cut treble hook. So it was a treble and now it's a single. And but it's a bunch of redneck stuff. Yeah. It's just, I found it on a log and was like, because it's got a whatever color orange that people are using now on spinner baits on like the Colorado blade, that like fluorescent orange.
Yeah.
I saw that in the water and was like, in my head, I was like, oh, it's an accent spinner bait, and those are high end, and everybody's using them right now. And I reached down and picked it up and was like, what the fuck is this? But I was like, I should have tied it on, but I was like, I'm gonna keep this.
Yeah, it's probably the sauce, in the trees or on logs and stuff around here that whenever you go into Bass Pro, you're like, why would anybody ever buy that? And then you find it on the lake. Somebody does buy that.
Yeah.
I need to get like a high-powered magnet thing because, like, I've always been curious about like shit that's just been lost, like in the waters.
We should like YouTube. You know how magnet fishing's popular right now.
Yes.
We should not do it off of a bridge, but we should like approach fishing spots and throw the magnet and just get back tackle.
I saw some guys up in Wisconsin on Green Bay. They were scuba diving by the mouth of the Fox River there, and the walleyes run up in there to spawn. And dude, the mound of crankbaits these guys found was absolutely ridiculous. Like 2 or 3 just like huge mounds of just solid crankbaits. I mean, there had to been minimum $5 to $8 grand worth of crankbaits laying in piles. I'm gonna see if I can find this real quick. But it was just
would be so cool.
Put that in the host chat awesome. Too. I want to watch that.
One guy took him out, and the guy went down scuba diving, and it was ridiculous what they found.
Well, you got a couple trees in your lake. Just imagine what that tree was like in your lake.
I was thinking about that after I saw it. It wasn't on YouTube. Here, let me
because I had to give up a couple lures of that stupid tree.
I always wonder why there's still fish on trees like that. Because I know I've got a few road beds and stuff like that I've put a bunch of lures on, and there's still fish there. Yeah, you figure it'd be
the fish just start naming them like
sharp shit around here, bud. We need to get out of here. We gotta find a new road bed.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for this? Anchors was the other thing.
We just got our dive done with. We did some fishing, caught a couple sheephead. But let's check out what we found here today. Found a lot of boat anchors in there, and I left about 10.
Look at the piles of crankbaits in there.
Knife here. Found some tackle. Look at all those there.
Dude, those are sizes of like huge basketballs.
Muscular. And then the thing that
fire tiger's hot up there.
Look at
he found a whole ass outboard.
You're good, right?
Yeah.
You can make fun of him all you want now on Facebook and everything else. He lost it last fall. He slowed down. And
And this guy knows the guy that lost that motor, so that's why they found that.
And his name is
my
Roger,
God.
right?
Rod Everly, yep.
Rod Everly. Okay. Glad we can get your motor back and clean up the river a little bit today. If you're
Can you
missing an anchor,
salvage
it's
your
still out
motor
there.
after that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you'd have to
Oh,
take
yeah,
it
I'll get
apart
in there.
and yeah.
you fill that
But I
bitch
mean,
full
dude-
of sea foam and let it sit for a few months.
Yeah.
2 piles like bigger than basketballs, man, full of crankbaits.
Insane.
Like it's just nuts.
What's cool when you
Man.
find them too is I found a bunch of like cool original like wiggle warts or cool
Sure.
original
Mhm.
Normans, wooden Normans and stuff like that. Those are the ones that I like to find. I don't ever like, that's a lie. Every time I find a jackhammer, I'm like, yep, going in the box. But most of the time I like to find stuff just to like have it, you know, something to look at. But that's insane. I think the most I've reeled up, you know, you'll snag fishing line sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I snagged fishing line last year at Pickwick, and I reeled up the line, and I think it was 2 crankbaits and like a Texas rig, but like all on the same. Like I caught line that had caught line and caught line and caught line, and I got it out because I was using braid. But I thought that was hilarious. Because like Dan was saying, it's like everybody and their moms put something in there, and there's still probably fish on that tree. That's
Sure.
hilarious.
Sure.
I'll be
Like,
right
how
back.
did he even handle that though? All those treble hooks? No way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
that
wondered
looked
that too.
so sketchy to even touch.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been like hanging them on my wetsuit and like come up looking like just one fucking tackle wall. That'd been cool.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of those guys, they like that are diving, like trying to find stuff. They have like mesh bags they throw crap in, like
They're not
the
that
Almighty
bad.
or whatever, and jigging
Yeah.
with Jordan and those guys. They always dive this stuff
Yeah.
down south. You know, it's pretty
Those
wild.
are very good YouTubes too. D Almighty,
Yeah,
his videos
Mm-hmm.
are killer.
totally.
Yeah,
totally.
that jigging with Jordan dude seems pretty decent too.
Yeah,
Like, down
him
to
and
earth guy
Tristan.
with all the diving. Yep, yeah, Tristan too, right?
Yep.
That guy's a nut.
Yeah,
Total
They're all
like
kinda
California
nutty.
boy. He's just got like that Cali like nuttiness to him.
yeah, and I'm pretty
You
sure he's
know?
from Georgia.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he?
They're all from
He just has
Georgia.
that,
Yeah.
bro. What's up, man? Yeah, all right.
They just started a podcast actually called the Banger Podcast.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
I've listened to like I think 2 episodes, maybe 2, 3, something like that. Good stuff.
I don't remember where we were going with it before. We were talking about lures snagged
I don't
in
know.
lakes and trees.
We're an hour and 45 deep though.
Yeah.
We are. We are.
No
And
one
I
cares.
got 2 phone,
I'm out.
2 phones.
I gotta call the
Titan
kid.
spinner.
Whatever. Hey,
All
is
right,
that
boys.
is that a Fender jazz bass behind you? Or is that
No,
a Squire?
P base.
That's a fish, bro. He
Squire.
slaps the fish.
The Squire
Slap
P
at a
bass? You slap at a bass.
I was just about to say it. Slap at a base.
Slap at a bass.
Slap at a
I
fish.
slap at a bass.
I slap at a fish.
I slap at a socks.
And Susie's back.
Yeah. That was for you, Dan.
Thanks.
Final thoughts, Susie.
He goes, thanks.
Final thoughts.
Good final thought.
Gators are cool. She's about to take over the world.
Yeah. I mean, to all the people out there who are, thinking that, oh, I don't have what it takes to get like a sponsor or something like that, or, I'm not a good enough angler, I never win any tournaments. Why would somebody ever sponsor me? It's not always about that. It's, what you can do for the sport. It's what you can do for yourself. It's what you can do for the community, and then for, the company that you're wanting to get with as well. So, don't sell yourself short too, I mean,
Muchacho.
Dan's about to get sponsored by the Saints.
Yeah.
That'd be badass. Who Dat Nation? Shit.
Lizzie
Final thoughts,
Ball
Dan.
ruling. I used to live down there.
Final thoughts, Dan Perry.
Me? Oh, I don't have any. Up with hope, down with dope.
I like it. Jimmy
Unless you
said,
got some dope.
I wasn't
Wait, I
ready for
gotta-
that.
I had to think about this. Hold on.
I got
I
it.
could go so many places with that right now. Jimmy, final thoughts.
I'm just here, man. Good talking to all y'all. Don't feel like I've talked to most of y'all since Del Hollow for real.
Trying to make it.
Yeah,
Just trying to make it, man. Just
I'm
trying
an
to make
island
it.
boy just trying to make it.
Just trying to make it, man. Out here trying to make
Trying
it.
to make it.
Hey, Jay.
Song is
Hey, Jay, you
looping in my
want to
head.
see my... Jay, final thoughts.
Absolutely.
Jay, final thoughts.
That's great,
From
Jay.
Brian
We're glad
Milford.
you're here.
All right, yeah.
Deep thoughts. That name shall not be mentioned.
Yeah.
You got anything, Jay?
No, I have nothing, dude. Nothing.
As
I still got pain. I
usual.
still got pain on my hands.
I thought he was about to say I still got
I'll,
my pants on. I was like,
Yeah.
what? Is that not normal for your podcast?
I will.
No, I'm in shorts today.
Oh my God! I'll mail you a box of Kleenexes. Eastport Marina says, "What happened to Jay's face?" Little red.
No, it's
dot.
just his face, guy. It's okay.
Yeah. What face?
All right, boys and girls. Thanks for tuning in. As always, hope you guys enjoyed this edition of After Hours. Long conversation, but good stuff as always. We're here every Thursday, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 5 o'clock out on the West Coast. As always, boys and girls, tight lines, smooth paddle. Peace. Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode here on Paddle and Fin. Be sure to drop a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, or smash that subscribe button on any platform you're listening in on. Be sure to check us out on Waypoint TV, waypointtv.com. Make sure you sign up for the Fantasy Kayak Fishing League at paddleandfin.com/fantasy. You can support this show through Patreon, patreon.com/paddleandfin. Don't forget to check out the website, paddleandfin.com. Catch us on YouTube. If you got a question, comment, or want to see a future guest on the show, be sure to email us at paddleandfin@gmail.com. Shout out to our show supporters, Yak Gadget. You can check out all the fine kayak accessories at yakgadget.com. Pelican Professional. For all your cases, coolers, and lighting needs, go to pelican.com. Rocktown Adventures, your Midwest premier paddle sports destination. Go to rocktownadventures.com. Eastport Marina, the beautiful destination on Dale Hollow Lake. If you're looking for lodging, kayaks, kayak accessories, or anything fishing related on the beautiful Dale Hollow Lake, go to eastport.info. And Jigmasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to jigmasters.com and fill your tackle boxes today.